Want to start your book but can't seem to? This week, I'll be sharing my 3 personal relaxation tips that I use when I'm writing so you can leap into your story. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, break down the process, and meet others who've done it so you can leap into your own story. We interview amazing guests who provide powerful insights that inspire you to get your story told. Be sure to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com, and while you're there, subscribe and like us via your favorite social media network. Now sit back, get ready to take some notes, and let's get started. This episode of Leap Into Your Story podcast is brought to you by Leap Into Your Story course. Visit leapintoyourstory.com where you have a guide to get your story told.
I'm Victoria Andersen, and welcome to the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, work through the process, and get powerful insights that inspire you to get your own story told. So be sure to visit our website, and while you're there, subscribe and like us via your favorite social media network. In this episode, I'll be wrapping up the Mindset series and concluding with 3 of my own personal relaxation exercises that will help you leap into your story. So, what are these 3 tips that I recommend? Well, the first one is one that I actually include in my courses, and that is meditation. Now, just keep in mind, it doesn't have to be very long. I recommend anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes tops. And I use also some vibrational sounds, such as crystal bowls or chimes. So there's both high pitches to break up the mind chatter with the lower ones to help calm the mind. And this would be a great time to also implement, say, your writing mantra, such as, I will write my book, or I can finish my book. So I will also include the link to my courses in the comments below. So let's take 2 minutes and give it a try. So for number 2 exercise, I use Qigong, as it's known in the East, or EFT tapping, which it's known in the West. And I do, again, anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes per day, and definitely before and even during and after writing. And I usually start from my head and work through the upper body, including the hands, especially the hands, as I hold in a lot of tension in my hands. But let me demonstrate some of the tapping areas that I use. And usually I start at the head, and I just do maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes at a time. Again, I recommend doing 10 minutes throughout the day. Now I might move to the forehead. And again, there's a lot of tension in this area of the body. And I'll move on to, now I'm shortening it because I don't want this to be an hour-long video, but I'll do again anywhere from 30-second intervals, but recommended 2 to 10 days, 2 to 10 minutes throughout your day. And here, under the cheek, I should probably take off my glasses. I don't know how much I can see, but under the cheek here. And on the jaw, because that's usually very close to the neck muscles. Again. Then I will move down to the chest. And then I tend to just tap down my arms, under the arm, across, tap across. And then finish up with the chest area. Then I might move on to, say, my hands. So I'll close them and just bang this way. So again, I hold a lot of tension in my hands. Again, 30-second intervals, but I'd say if you can get 10 minutes a day, that's probably the best. And then the 4 fingers. So it gets this part of the hand. Maybe 30 seconds is roughly about 10 times. Again, it's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. Then I might just bang into my fist. Or the other one. And then shake. So that's what I do. And then lastly is stretching. I usually incorporate some yoga, chair yoga to be exact. And again, that's going to start with the head. And I'm going to do like a modified cobra stretch, which is your chin up, look up, feel all the pulling. If you're tense, especially if you're tense, you'll feel all that in there because that's where you usually hold in. And again, if you have any neck injuries or sensitivity, you don't want to overdo it. I just do a little, just so enough so I could feel a little bit of the tension. And again, I hold it for about 3 deep breaths. So I'll inhale in, hold for 3, and then exhale. Then once I do roughly again a few minutes, depending on comfort or whatever you feel like a need to just get some of that tension broken up or energy flowing, I then do some shoulder squeezes. And these are going to be shoulder to the ear. Try to squeeze up as high as you can to your shoulder, to the ears, and you want to inhale when you're doing that. And I generally hold for count of three, about 3 seconds, and then exhale for 3. And I do a couple of those. Inhale, look up, usually, because that helps stretch my eyeballs too. And hold for 3. And then exhale. One more. And then I do shoulder rolls. First, again, roll them forward, forward. And you may want to sit a little bit out of your chair just to give you a little more leverage. My elbows are hitting my armrest because I'm sitting a little further in for the camera purposes. And then just reverse. And you want to incorporate some of that little shoulder squeeze too. And just be gentle on yourself. Again, if you have any injuries, you don't want to re-aggravate them. But these are just some simple exercises that you can use to help relieve some tension, quiet the mind. And then lastly, what I do is my finger squeezes. So I hold them real tight and then stretch. Hold them real tight and then stretch. And then I usually follow up with folded finger squeezes. Try to save that a lot of time. And I'll just kind of put some pressure because I tend to hold a lot of tension. And especially if I'm writing and typing, right? You tend to hold that. And then just squeeze down. So I'm putting some pressure into this center area of my hand. This way too. And just a final little squeeze. Like that. And then I shake and put my hands back down. So try some of these exercises, and I'll meet you here again for the next series, where we dive into actually starting to build your outline for a book so you can leap into your story. So thank you for tuning into the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, work through the process, and get inspired so you can write your own story. Remember to visit our website and enjoy even more episodes like this one. And again, while you're there, subscribe and like us via your favorite social media network. We are looking forward to seeing you next time here on the Leap Into Your Story podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Leap Into Your Story podcast, where you discover your inner story, break down the process, and meet others who've done it so you can leap into your own story. Remember to visit our website at leapintoyourstory.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're there, subscribe and like to us via your favorite social media network. We're looking forward to seeing you next time on the Leap Into Your Story podcast.